how do you see this imposition of second lockdowns across the Eurozone? How do you think those will impact the economic recovery in the 19-member bloc?
Well, unfortunately, this was something that was anticipated by the leaders of the European Union. In all of our work in 2020, we always believed that it was likely that in the period after the summer, we would see the redevelopment of the disease and that member states would potentially have to take additional public health measures. So this is why we have so many economic measures now being deployed across the European Union, which were in anticipation of stronger public health measures. So at a national level and then at an overall EU level, these very demanding public health measures are being taken at the same time. Economic supports are being made available within member states and then across the EU as a whole.
So what will be your message to the finance ministers today? Will you ask them to step up fiscal stimulus across the Eurozone, Minister?
Well, our message as members of the Eurogroup is that we have measures in place which were designed to be implemented at the very moment that COVID-19 will be having a further impact on our public health. And our shared message within the European Union is the value of now implementing what we have already agreed. At a national level, the discretionary budgetary supports that are now in place are equivalent to around 4% of European income. What we have agreed is the rollout of further measures at EU level through the Recovery and Resilience Fund, which will be implemented across the European Union. And what we are very confident of is that those measures will be implemented in 2021 and that they will have an impact in 2021. So the Eurogroup will continue to monitor the economic effect of this disease, but we have measures that are being implemented and that are ready to go that we believe can make a really big difference to citizens of Europe at such a testing time.
Well, just to pick up on what you were saying about the European Recovery Fund, it was brandished as a huge achievement when it was announced back in July. An envelope was 750 billion euros. But since then, we've noticed that there's been a lot of reluctance on the part of many countries within the Eurozone to actually use the facility. For many of the wealthier countries, those with lower financing needs, it actually doesn't make sense for them to tap into the fund. And those that do have higher financing costs are reluctant to take on more debt. How do you square up the circle?
So part, I think, of what you're referring to there is the additional facilities that are available through the European Stability Mechanism. And what's really critical is that those facilities are ready and that they can be used in a precautionary manner if member states of the EU so decide. In relation to the broader picture of the availability of the Recovery and Resilience Fund, even when the agreement was being made in the European Union before the summer, you can see what happens as different member states work out difficulties, we negotiate to get to an agreed outcome, which is what happened. And what is simply happening now is the work that has to happen to allow that funding to be available in 2021 is now underway. It is intense and it is political, and agreements will be reached. And we will ensure that at the very point at which member states may need grants to be made available to them to deal with the issue of indebtedness that you are referring to, that those grants are available in 2021 and can be of particular help to member states in dealing with COVID-19.